how is the drive to work?
It's good. It's not bad at
Yeah.
all. It takes 30 minutes, 27 on a good day.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you're going against traffic going out, and then I guess coming back you're kind of going with traffic, or I guess against traffic again.
Both ways, yeah. Both ways, I'm going the other way compared to everybody else. So
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Well, that's
Not
good.
bad. The only bad thing is driving through Lexington because Lexingtonians cannot drive.
Look, you're not incorrect. And living in Lexington, I acknowledge how bad a drivers we have 4-lane highway that runs through Lexington, 378 Sunset Boulevard, that I don't understand for the life of me how it gets backed up every single day. Like if I were to go out today and get on 378, there's a good likelihood that it's backed up, and for no good reason.
Right.
So we are what, 10 days away from the election at this point?
Right.
I think it's 10 days. So real quick,
I do apologize. Y'all might hear a 4-year-old.
That's all right.
She just yelled that she was done.
She just yelled she's done. Is that like a
no idea what she's done with?
Is that like a bathroom? I'm done. That was what I got. That was what we got. It was.
I did leave her some hash browns down there, and so she might have dusted those off.
we would get a yell from the bathroom saying, "I'm done." All right, wipe up, finish, flush, please flush. That's the biggest thing. So, I real quick, I want to let everybody know early voting is going to be open through the rest of the election for a number of states. And one of the things I do on this early program is just show and talk about which states early voting.
It can't be early for the rest of the election because at some point it would be considered late.
Yeah, there's not a lot of voting that takes place after the eletion.
Can I early vote?
Yeah, and anyone that says that there's early vote or there's late voting is full of shit. It doesn't. That's not a thing. And I keep checking to see what the statistics are for yesterday, but I don't know when the South Carolina Elections Board is going to update their webpage. It still isn't updated. So real quick, I'll just show which states as of Monday. South Carolina, you can vote today. A number of states have weekend voting that's available. South Carolina, you can only vote on Saturday on the weekend, but early voting is available Monday through Saturday for South Carolina. So we'll just real quick, just want to go over the states: Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California. This is as of Monday. Okay. Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia. Florida will be open on Monday. Georgia, Guam, Hawaii, Idaho, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi. Missouri is open with no excuse or excuse. I don't know why those overlap. Doesn't make sense to me. If I was in Missouri, at this point, it's just you don't need an excuse. Montana,
I'd hang myself.
You'd have to show us too. Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, Mexico, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, again, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Virgin Islands, Washington, West Virginia, Wyoming, and Wisconsin. I read those backwards. So that's what's going to be available to early votes on Monday. Again, some states you can vote early. I wanted to have Zach on mostly because I miss him, because we didn't record an episode. We've recorded enough episodes ahead that we didn't have to record this week, because ultimately what happens is our shows start to get old.
Mm-hmm.
Like they get dated. We recorded the episode with Matt Villardo like 3 weeks ago, and that released this past Monday. And some of the stuff that we talked about, it sounded aged. Aged? No, aged. Aged sounds like we don't like age.
Old.
Yeah. And Matt was great. So go check out that episode. It was episode number 228. As of Monday, episode number 229, Zach and I sat down with Carl Smith, who is a Democrat here in Lexington, South Carolina, who has a program called the Voter education program or project, voter education project. His website's votereducationproject.com, where he basically gives voters the information that they need really to vote, and it's it's completely based on fact. It's all sourced, so it's an important thing for voters to be able to go check out. And it's not just hyper South Carolina. It is it's knowing the information about the parties and who Kamala Harris is and what she represents versus versus Donald Trump, and what he represents. Donald Trump in the news all the time, but he did record an episode on the Joe Rogan Experience with Joe Rogan, which I don't typically listen to Joe Rogan unless it's like a really interesting guest. Joe Rogan, to me, has a hard time with the truth sometimes. And this episode he did with Donald Trump last night is no different. Towards the end of the episode, he did ask Donald Trump about releasing, if he's elected president, releasing the JFK files. He did talk about Donald Trump even told us that there are Martin Luther King files that could potentially be released.
Listen, there's a bunch of files out there. Aliens and Martin Luther King, not necessarily separate.
Yeah. Joe Rogan also asked him about aliens, to which I've never heard Donald Trump talk about aliens, or I guess we don't call them aliens anymore. We now call them NHIs, non-human intelligence. So Trump talked about how he read and spoke with pilots that have firsthand experience with UAPs, which UAPs used to be unidentified aerial phenomenon, but now I guess UAPs stands for unidentified erroneous, or do you know the word? What does UAP stand for now? I thought it was
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, but they changed A to something else so that it would accommodate for even like underwater. Zach's having a hard time. Hey, Eden is a pleasure, and I'll put her in the credits.
You can. She's going to tell me that she doesn't want to jump on her bed, which is just insane, and that she wants to sit on my lap. I'm talking. Now she's unzipping something on the back of my chair.
That's great. So
I'm going to mute it and beat her.
Okay. We'll watch. So Trump said that he read and spoke with some pilots that have firsthand experience with UAPs. That's awesome. But overall, Trump acted like he was going to disclose information, but he didn't. And I don't know if that's because he doesn't know any information, or that he doesn't remember the information, or that there is a part of his mind that does still work, that has the ability to not spurt out information or, whatever, just because I don't know. He does have some control. Overall, though, the Rogan show didn't really dive into any policy. Rogan fed Trump's ego. Trump fed Joe Rogan's ego when it wasn't something that was completely dishonest, or when it was something that was completely dishonest. Joe Rogan would make a quick rebuttal to Trump, but it was while Trump was talking, so I don't think Donald Trump heard him actually like rebut anything. Rebuttal. I did the Trump thing.
Is it rebut?
I think
who would expect him to actually answer any questions? Like, honestly,
well,
especially if they were against him.
Rogan said that he'd like to have Kamala Harris on, that he was supposed to have her on, and immediately Trump was like, "Oh, she wouldn't do any good on the show. Like, she'd be on the floor in a comatose state." Which I am impressed that Donald Trump knows the word comatose.
Why would she be on the floor in a comatose state?
Because Donald Trump, in the end, says I don't even know that he really believes it, but he says it because I think that his supporters like hearing it. That he says that Kamala Harris is she. He says, and this is a quote: "She's not a smart person. She can't string two sentences together." Which, if you watch her rallies, I if she's not stringing two sentences together, it's purely because people are cheering. There were 20, I think they said 27,000 people in Houston last night for the Beyonce Kamala Harris. I think I mean it was a huge crowd. And then the night before she was in Atlanta where she had 23,000 people. And I don't know for certain, but I think that they were at Memorial Stadium, which was the stadium that my high school, that was their home field stadium. It looked like Memorial Stadium. So I thought that was kind of cool. I think the only policy question that Donald Trump really got asked was how does Donald Trump get us off the path to World War III? Because I guess, is that just a foregone conclusion that we're on the path to World War III?
Only if he becomes president, right?
I feel like that's a certainty.
The only thing in the news that kind of made me go like, that's not great. North Korea sent troops to Russia, and this was on the news. I think it might even been Fox. I don't know if it's no. It was because it was White House. It was a White House release. It just happened to be Fox was publishing it online, but it was a White House. They were talking about North Korea on a ship they sent troops to Russia, and they're like training in Russia. So whether or not they're actually going to try and fight the Ukrainians or something, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Kim Jong-un has gifted 3,000 likely cannon fodder troops.
It's not a lot of people anyway.
No, 3,000 troops is not a lot. Which how many troops does Russia have on the ground now that they have? I mean, they've lost 150,000 in this ridiculous fight. But so Rogan asked him, how is he going to get us off the path to World War II? And these are quotes. I wrote them down while I was listening, so they're not exact, but he definitely said them. He said, "Easy question, but complex question. Russia is a war machine, a big fat war machine." And then he said, "Right now, you would get both. I know both very well. I don't want to tell you. If I told you exactly what I'd do, I'd never make the deal. I'd meet with both as president-elect. I'd get that war stopped fast."
That is his. I have the beginnings of a plan, or whatever it was. I have the workings of a plan.
I had the concept of a plan.
A concept of a plan.
You have the plan of a plan. Good job.
Trust me, if I would talk to both of them, and I would do stuff.
Very stable genius.
Very stable genius.
Yeah. Rogan did say he wants to have a conversation with Kamala Harris. And ultimately there's 23 million people that tune into Rogan on a regular basis. And I hope that he gets her on there. I think that would be a decent interview. I think that he would likely show her the same amount of respect that he shows Donald Trump. I don't think he'd attack her. I think Rogan, because it's not a bad show. I just prefer to listen or watch it when he has the more interesting conversations, like when Neil deGrasse Tyson goes on there. Epic shows, like the conversations they have.
Tyson like complex 4-year-old questions.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Well, Joe, what would be funny is get one of these presidential candidates or anybody holding office stoned and drunk like you did Elon Musk.
I think that's one of the other things that bugs me, though, is that like there was so much love for Elon Musk during that show, during that episode last night. It was to me, every time they fawn over Elon Musk, it's so over the top, and it's like I don't understand it. I don't remember Rogan asking him anything about fascism or some of the things that he said or anything like that. So ultimately it was
his ear.
Yeah,
he's like, "Do you have a scar or anything?" He's like, "Right here. If you look right here, little." It'll nick it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You veteran, you tough guy.
Way to sacrifice the body.
Yeah, if people are taking shots at you, you need to ask why.
Yeah, that would be ultimately that would be if it was me, that'd be the question that I'd ask.
Why?
So, if you have any interest in going to listen to or watching the Rogan interview with Donald Trump, it was a puff piece. It didn't really have a lot of value to it. It likely isn't going to sway anyone in one direction or the other. It's just that was my impression of it.
You're never really going to truly get anything from somebody like Trump, or even I don't even think Kamala Harris, or if you got Tim Walz on there. Maybe he could crack into JD Vance and get this couch story out of him or something. But
you know what the craziest thing is? I don't even know where the couch story came from because it's not in his book. Like, I downloaded his book and read it, and it's not a terrible book. I mean, it's self-glorification, but there isn't a story about a couch. It's not in there.
No, there was an article that came out, and it was like the AP wrote it or something. And that's where it stems from. It wasn't fully substantiated, but in my heart of hearts, I believe it to be true.
Yeah. I love Seth Meyers. He breaks character and he'll go, for the record, JD Vance did not fuck a couch. He didn't fuck a couch. There's no evidence that JD Vance fucked a couch. But he just keeps saying the same thing over and over because that's what sticks. Yeah.
On Scathing, when No Illusions repeatedly, he was like, "That's not an answer, couch fucker." I don't know, man. He was down from the start with the couch fucking thing because that is all that he is synonymous with to me. Like, that is it. It's not true. It was the cloud above his head the entire time.
Yeah.
Which we should talk about some sports too.
So first I'll start because I have a feeling I know where you're gonna go, or I think I know where you're gonna go. But I want to bring up: Are you watching at all any of the World Series?
I didn't.
Game one was last night.
I heard it was a good game though.
Fantastic game. I watched the highlights. Bottom of the 10th, bases loaded. Dodgers down by 1. Freddie Freeman comes up to bat, first pitch with a walk-off grand slam. I mean, epic.
I don't know. I don't know whether to be happy for Freddie or bad at Freddie.
I'm going to be happy for him. Yeah. I'm going to be happy for Freddie Freeman because ultimately I don't dislike Freddie Freeman for going and playing for the Dodgers. I get it. It was more money, or at least whatever happened in the background. It made it seem like that was the better deal. It got him closer to home, I still think that there's a likelihood that when they get to the end of his contract and he's not producing like he is, now, he's only got 3 more years on that 2 or 3 more years on that contract. I think the likelihood is that he may wind up coming back to the Braves. And I think that his friendship with Anthopoulos and Chipper Jones, I think Freddie Freeman works in the Braves office.
I don't think Freddie comes back. He's from LA. He's going to stay in LA.
Yeah, it's it's possible. I don't know. I'd like to see Freddie come back, but I like Freddie Freeman, and that's the other thing. I don't dislike any of the players that are on the Dodgers team this year. I like Freddie Freeman. I like Mookie Betts. Shohei. Yeah, I keep mucking up his name. Shohei. I don't dislike Shohei. He wears my number. I think it's slightly criminal that the Major League Baseball didn't do like an in-depth investigation into the whole thing about what happened with his interpreter betting hundreds of millions of dollars.
We're gonna have another Pete Rose on our hands.
Except that they've completely diverted any of the attention away from Ohtani. I mean, he's basically cleared of all of it. Like, I had no idea that he was stealing hundreds of millions of dollars from me. I was like, how do you not know that? That also, how do you have that much money? You've been playing baseball for like what, 4 years, 5 years? No, I guess he was with the Angels before.
He makes dumb money, dude.
Yeah, and all the brand names and such that he's got attached to him. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what's your prediction on the World Series?
I think Dodgers will take it. I think they're the better team.
I think I think absolutely Dodgers are the better team. I think it'll be Dodgers in 5. I think the Yanks pull off 1 victory, but I think it'll be Dodgers in 5. Ultimately.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So what was that the sports you want to talk about?
Well, too, I was gonna tell you your South Carolina football win total. I don't think is going to be correct.
How many?
5.
I think I did have them at 5, and you're not wrong. They look good. I mean, they have looked really good against some difficult teams.
We're 5-1 right now.
Yeah,
6-1, whatever it would be.
They have a bye week this week, right? So I think they're on a bye week this week. Georgia Tech. I was hoping that Georgia Tech was going to become bowl eligible last week, but Notre Dame was just a little too tough. So I think South Carolina and Georgia Tech both potentially could see 7 wins this season, which is that's a winning season.
I'm still the best way to go into a bye week is when you just throttle a team like Oklahoma who comes into your conference and you have to go there.
And that is what happened.
21 points in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that is absolutely what happened. They crushed them, and they did the same to Alabama until some horrendous calls.
Horrendous calls against LSU, and then just the self-inflicted wounds. If they just like this week work on not shooting themselves in the foot, they'll clean out the rest of the schedule. I truly believe that. Sellers
is a phenomenal quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He is quick. He's fast, but his mind is quick. And I don't want to remind everybody, but I did get to take a picture with Sellers at the Fireflies game.
The thing that tells me that he does is when he scrambles and he's about to fall, he just grabs the football like this and uses it as like a little prop on the ground. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, but he's got enormous hands. Like they go around the football.
Like no more of that, sir, please. Just because it's one person to come hit it and it's just gonna go. It has.
Yeah. He has had a couple fumbles, forced fumbles. So the last thing I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if I sent you the text message or not, but WIS TV 10 in Columbia reported that 35 devices were seized from the South Carolina representative RJ May, and a criminal indictment is expected in the next 3 months.
Uh-oh.
Here is a list of what Homeland Security Investigations HSI seized during their raid on his private home. 1 Lenovo laptop, 1 Amazon tablet, 4 cell phones. Who has 4 cell phones? 4 hard drives, 2 DVD-Rs, 19 thumb drives.
Yeah, that right there just goes to show you what the hell. DVD-Rs.
19. Yeah, who still has DVD-Rs? Like DVD DVD-Rs. Those are the right rewrite? No, I guess DVD-RW are the right rewrites.
Yeah, that's the writable. So someone burned him some DVDs.
So RJ May, of course, as a reminder, is my representative. He is running in the District 88, South Carolina House District 88, unopposed, which is still quite disappointing. My friend Jeremy was the Democratic candidate, but then dropped out because he said his work would not let him run, which I told him. I said, you should just come talk to me. Like, if you would come and talk to me, I would have told you, don't tell your work you're running. Why do you have to tell them? You haven't been elected. It's not like it's taking away from your ability to campaign, or campaigning isn't taking away your ability to work. You work your regular shift and you campaign in the evenings. That's it. That's all you have to do. But yeah, so RJ May is running unopposed, is likely the candidate, or is the presumed winner of the race, just because it's hard to imagine. I think I got a text message that they're trying to mount a write-in vote with somebody's name, and then I've tried to get enough people to mount a write-in vote for Jeremy so that his name will at least come back on the returns. I have asked people in my district to write my name in for Senate District 23 so that my name will show up on the returns when the votes get counted on the 5th. It's not, depending on how many votes I actually see will determine whether or not I potentially look at running for one of these offices.
Well, it was really late. I don't know if that's a fair enough metric to sway you to not run, because it's so last minute.
No, that's
what
fair.
If you win? Let everybody know that he's alleged. Did you even say alleged? But like,
well, the guy that I'm asking people to put my name in against is Carlisle Kennedy, who virtually ran on zero platform except that he likes Donald Trump, to the point where he put himself on banners and signs and posters of him with Donald Trump, to which the Trump campaign never endorsed him, did in fact send a cease and desist to have him stop putting up signs and photos of him with Donald Trump, because it was photoshopped. That the two have never been, that close together. I imagine Carlisle Kennedy has probably attended as many Trump rallies as he possibly can, though. So,
big
whatever.
fan. Yeah.
He just really, really likes Donald Trump. That's
I don't
such an
understand
awkward
that
platform.
either way. Somebody who just loves like a political figure that much, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I cannot.
I haven't loved like an actor, a sports, anybody who plays any kind of sports, an athlete. There's nobody that I've just been like, my God, maybe Batman, but he's not real.
He's not real yet. Batman will come when the world needs him.
He's the hero Gotham deserves.
That's right. Well, that's pretty much all I got for this kind of daily show. I thank you very much, Zach, for being on with me.
You want to say hey?
Oh yeah, here comes Eden. We're gonna make this happen. Hi, Eden. She can't hear me.
Yes, she can.
Oh, she can. Hey. Oh. She has. Eden, you have a crisp voice. You are ready for us to start recording your podcast.
Yeah, and see it.
You show your books? What books you got?
And I got this, and this is why that's the.
Oh, it fell out. I'll get it.
That's all right. Hey, I think that's content we should add to the podcast. That is absolutely.
And this is. That's a brown horse.
Yeah.
It is a brown horse. I tell you what, next time we have you on, if we could you give us a book review?
You give a book review, Eden?
Black horse.
It is a black horse.
What's the last one? What's the last book?
That's a white horse.
The complete tales of the brown, black, and white horse.
And
look,
this is a white horse.
That is diversity by definition.
That's a white horse.
You would tell Barrett that you're having a brother and a sister?
I got a brother and sister.
She guessed
I am excited for you, Eden. Are you gonna put them in their place?
I'm gonna say please. I'm gonna hold it.
Okay.
All right, that was awesome.
I'm gonna hold it.
Eden is Zach's oldest child, and obviously is going to be continuing in the tradition of podcasting, and you know,
That's a little plate. The seat.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for this kind of daily show. Thank you very much, Zach, for being with me. We will see you guys on another episode.
Yes, sir. Hey, bring that back. It's a pair.